right, so now we're going to go with a guy who truly is a pivot point for this organization. He will be 29 in 2026, but he very certainly is not under contract right now with the Flyers in 2026. His contract expires next summer. Travis Konecny.
This one's tough, Charlie.
Is he going to be here in 2026? Will the Flyers re-sign him, or will the Flyers trade him? JP, is he here or is he not? What's your thought?
I say yes, because I do think that they will agree to a contract extension this summer with him. What that number is going to look like, that is super hard. And I'm so glad I'm not part of that decision making, because, like, I mean, obviously, dude, he was on a tear for most of the season.
Yeah.
And then in the most important part of the season, I mean, he really unfortunately did not show up. So, like,
he came back at the end, though.
Yeah, at the very end,
had a very good those 2 games against the Rangers and Devils.
That's right, yeah.
He kept them in it, but I agree. You know, in that last bit in the second half of March into the very beginning of April, he didn't. But
it's tough, Charlie.
I made the point that he's not that kind of guy. He's not a superstar. He might be the best player on the Flyers, but he's not a superstar. The Flyers are going to need to decide whether they are willing to pay a very good forward, but not a superstar forward, the kind of money that he is going to ask for on this new deal. You think they will?
I think they will.
I kind of think they will too. Yeah. I think they like him too much. I think they find a way to get it done. Now, whether that's the right move, I'm skeptical. I think that the hard but probably smarter decision would be to trade him and not lock yourself into Travis Konecny until he's 34 years old. Yeah. But I think they are probably going to re-sign him. And I would understand it. Like, I don't think it is it would be like a fireable decision, because I get it. You're betting that he ages well, and you've decided that, well, if we were to trade him and then Michkov gets here, we're going to go out in free agency and sign another Travis Konecny anyway. So we might as well keep the guy who is already a fit here and we know works in Philly. I would get it. I just don't know if I want to lock myself into an 8-year contract for Travis Konecny, and that's what he's going to require.
Let me ask you, on a good team, is this ceiling like a second-line winger?
I think he's in that borderline. Like, I think he could be your third best forward. Okay. I think if he's on a great team, he's probably a second-line winger. But I hate the designations there, because, like, he would be on your second line, but he would still be a first-line quality winger.
Okay.
Like, what I've said a lot of times is that the way this works is that the great teams have first liners on their second line. They have second liners on their third line. They have first pair quality defensemen on their second pair. Like, that's how you win. If you have a team where you have 3 first liners and 3 second liners and 3 third liners in terms of quality, you'll probably make the playoffs every year, but you're not going to win anything, because you're going to lose to the teams that have stockpiled so much more talent.
Is that Toronto's problem?
Toronto has a lot of problems, but look at Dallas. Like, Dallas right now has guys like Wyatt Johnson and Logan Stankoven who are on their second, third lines that probably are going to be first liners when all is said and done in their career. And the reason why they're such a good team, the reason why they might win it all this year, even though they lost last night in overtime, is because they have those guys who are like top of the lineup caliber players playing further down the lineup, because they just have so many of them. So if Konecny's on your second line, like, yeah, maybe on a great team, that's where he is, but I don't think that makes him a second liner. I think he's still a first line caliber player. It's just that if you want to win cups, you need first line caliber players on your second line.
Good point. It's a really good point. We got another super chat here.
Another super chat.
What do we got? Dylan Phillips. Who would you target with TK?
With a TK Florida first package.
Okay.
I gotcha. You know, it just depends. I mean, I would like to, if I was trading Travis Konecny, I'd love to get a forward with high-end upside under the age of 25. Mm-hmm. Now, whether that guy would be available for Travis Konecny, I don't know. But, like, that would be what I'd be targeting. If I couldn't get that, I would do a package for a lot of picks. And then maybe you could package those picks for one of those guys. Mm-hmm. So it would just be a matter of trying to get the most assets. But, like, yeah, I mean, I'd be talking to teams like LA and be like, hey, do you want Travis Konecny? What about Quentin Byfield? Like, those would be the conversations I'd be wanting to have. Now, whether any of those teams would do it, I don't know. But I mean, those would be the dream scenarios for me for a Travis Konecny trade.
the mayor.